In this lesson, we are going to talk about a very crucial and very important thing. Is planning your fish farm. And that lesson is budgeting and financial planning. Now, budgeting is very important that you need to set aside money to be able to invest it into your farm. Remember, this is an investment. And no matter how you are starting, whether small or big, you surely need some kind of money to invest into it. You will surely, though the amount will depend on how you want to start and how you plan your farm. But if you also plan well, you shall have a budget friendly farm to set up. Now, the most important thing you have to notice that remember, as you are investing, the first production cycle before you produce, you are never going to make any money. You rather spend, 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 input, 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 and no output. So have that in mind and believe that for the first 6 months or for the first month that you are going to produce, you are not getting anything. You will only spend, and that way it can help you. And that brings us to the first thing, that is initial investment. And that initial investment, like I say, put up money. Don't expect anything for the initial investment. And what you have to do first in the initial investment is capital cost or capital investment. And the capital investment has to do with purchasing the equipment. If you have just watched my previous lesson where I give you the essential equipment for the fish farming, you will understand most of the things that you have to purchase. You can talk about the fish ponds, the fish feed. These things are the initial investment where you are going to put in money to start the business, fingerlings, and those stuffs. Now, these things, they are the first thing you have to acquire. Your land, very important. Acquisition of your land. All these are the capital costs. Now, after you have factored in the capital costs and you have get everything right, what is most important thing is operational costs. And these operational costs, most at times, they are recurring costs. For those costs, it keeps the farm running all the time. And those costs, it keeps repeating. It keeps repeating. So they are very, very important. And when you look at the investment costs, when you look at the capital costs, once you buy these things, the land, the ponds, the flotation, and those stuffs, you are done. Until there's a need for maintenance, you continue to go. They are not recurring. But with the operational costs, they come at any time and you must plan ahead of them. First thing is the feed. Feed takes about 70% of the cost in fish production. That's the truth. Because the fish must eat and they must eat well to be able to grow. And they have to eat every day. So feed keeps increasing, the price keeps increasing, and you have to continue buy feed. That is why it is said to be the most high cost in fish production. That's 70% they estimate or we estimate. So many people, their failure in the feed management lead to the failure in their success, in their failure of their fish farm because they didn't plan that and they go into it only to realize that feed, 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 they are not able to buy again. So it is so important that you have to take note of feed. And the feed comes in several forms. We still have lessons that we can talk more about the feeding. Most of the time we talk about the commercial feed, and that is it. Because even if you are going to use self-made feed or natural-based feed such as azola, duckweed, and co, you will still need some amount of the commercial feed to supplement these ones. Especially as a beginner, it will be difficult to produce feed that can stand all the nutrients and to make your fish grow. So even if you are not going to depend heavily on the commercial feed, but you still need it. And even the production of your own feed also incur costs because you have to spend money to buy raw materials and those stuffs. Now, another important thing is utility. utility bills. You would pay less bill. You would pay water bill, except that you are not dependent on the government provided water or government provided electricity. That one you are safe. But even that one, if you're not going to depend, but before you are even self-dependent, you have to spend a lot. For instance, you are going to drill a borehole to use it for your farm. You have to spend a lot of money to drill the borehole. And also, if you're going to use open water, probably the cost will be lesser. But let's come to electricity. If you are going to use or run filtration system or irrigation system or use pumps to pump water, you surely need electricity. And the electricity, if you are connected to the national grid, it means that you will pay monthly recurring electricity bills. Unless you are going to depend on renewable natural on renewable energy. For instance, if you are going to use solar, that way then you don't pay repeated or recurring bills. However, the initial investment on that one too is high. You will set it up, but take note, it's operational cost. It is something that's recurring. Another thing that is recurring you must take note is labor. Labor, that is your farm work. If you are going to set up a commercial farm, even if you are going to run it yourself, you will still need someone to assist you. There are times that you cannot do everything alone. For instance, during sorting, during harvesting, most of these times you cannot do it alone. You need help. And helping or getting a help means you are going to pay the person or you're going to give the person allowance. While apart from paying the person, you need to train your laborers or your workers very well, because this is a venture where you can't do it ignorantly. You will lose your fish. Learning is important there. So if you're going to help or if you're going to depend on someone to take care of your farm, it means that you need to provide skill for the person, train the person. And the training, probably you're going to contact someone to train, or even if you're going to train the person yourself, you still incur some loss. And the operational cost, the last issue you also look at is maintenance costs. You need to put aside some fund for maintenance, because as you are running, there are times that there will break down of some equipment or some machinery. If you are using flotation irrigation system that requires pumps, there are times that the pumps will break down. You need to repair. Even the fish ponds, sometimes they freight or they get damage where you have to maintain. There will be a cost. So put down some contingency fund, and that contingency fund you can use it to repair or take care of settings. Now that brings us to another important thing, that is revenue projection. So under the budgeting and financial planning or financial projection, we have revenue projection. And in the revenue projection, you have to look at your outcome, the market price. Before you start harvesting your fish, you need to search the market even before you even start the production to know how much they sell fish at your region or at your location or at your internal market, how much they sell fish. So after knowing the price of how much they sell and then the demand too, you research that. Then you look at project the quantity of fish you are going to produce. And that one, you put it compared to your stocking density or how much fish you are going to stock or you have stock. And then take out mortality. Make sure that you take out at least 10% mortality. Subtract it, and that can be in your mind. That's your projection. You might not get that. Yes, things can change, but that's your projection. I'm telling you this, or you have to take note of this, because you will know the amount of fish that you're going to give out to your customers. And for that matter, when you're looking for customers, you can have in mind that the quantity of fish that you're going to sell to them. Because we are talking to a potential customer about the fish you will giving him or her in future. He might also want to know the quantity of fish that you have to give him. So have that projection, know the price, and you are good to go. Another important thing, and another important thing is diversification of income. Diversify your income stream will help you a lot to make more profit and to strive in the business, especially if you want to take that as a full time. Remember, if you are going to depend solely on the production and sale of your fresh fish, you might not be able to make enough money. And the reason is that if you stock, let's say, catfish, it will take about 6 months or sometimes more for for production or to produce. It means that within the period of 6 months, you are not getting anything. You only spend, spend, spend. So even when you produce and you get huge money once, you probably will be run at loss. So you need to diversify your income stream. Have a way of making extra money through the farm. We can talk about smoking. When you start harvesting, instead of selling them fresh or selling all of them fresh, you can add value into them. Because when you smoke and you add value, you sell more, you add more money into it, making more profit. Apart from the smoking, you can also provide services to people, or you can also sell equipment to people and making extra money. For instance, I'm a fish farmer, but my income is not coming solely on the fish farming. I provide services such as risk aquatic system to people, and this course is one. Probably I'll make few monies from that course. So that is what I am saying. Diversify your income. Now, the last thing you have to also note is that risk management. In as much as you are producing, you are going to face risk, and that you need to put up some measures to prevent or to provide solution to the risk. And to do that, you can insure the farm. Insuring the farm means that if there is any unfortunate event, such as disease outbreak, natural cause, let's say bushfire or any other emergency situation, your insurance company will be reliable to take care of the cost, therefore taking the burden on you. Apart from the insurance, you can also put contingency fund. Like I said earlier, as the production is ongoing, there are certain unforeseen circumstances that will occur. So when you have some funds down, when it happens, you can be able to take care of that.